how you do it. That is a victory. Excited about it. Welcome in, y'all, to the CHGO Bulls Postgame Show. We are live. I am your host, Big Dave. Follow me at Ball Sports. That is that man, Kyle Williams. That man behind the boards over there is Joey Spathis. And that beautiful man in that bubble down there is that guy, Mark K. We all love him. You can follow him here at MK Hoops. Bulls getting a victory, 121-107 over the best team in the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics. Wow, what the hell? We didn't see that one coming. After the tough loss they took to the Orlando Magic, I don't think anybody was pretty high, Mark, Kyle, about this game right here and the Bulls pulling this victory off, even though they already had beaten Boston at home previously. It didn't look like the way things were going that the mojo was with the Bulls are going to be with them, but they having to pull it off, man, and they did a good job. They shot pretty good from the three-point line. Yep. They played great defense pretty much all game long, led by DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Patrick Williams. Is that right, Kyle?
Patrick Williams had himself a game, a season-high 17 points. Crossing up Jayson Tatum, hitting him with a behind-the-back cross. Like, he went to his bag tonight.
Yeah, he did. He looked more confident than I've seen him in a very, very, very long time. We could just say ever. How about that? He looked more confident than I've ever seen him before, Mark.
Yeah, and look, I think it started because of the way the Celtics were guarding him initially. They were kind of just leaving him open, and that was the defense initially. Leave him open, leave Io open. Make LaVine, DeRozan, and Vooch sort of beat the Celtics defense, which was a good gamble by Joe Mazzulla, and I actually liked that from a pure Boston strategy point of view. It made complete sense. But shout out to Pat. He made his threes, and then he got going and sort of had those hezzy jumpers, the sweet dribble package to get into those elbow spots where we know he's comfortable. The dash law, I see your comment here. There's no hate from me on Pat Williams tonight because Pat played a really good game, but more generally, like, he was just moving and cutting off the ball. His defense was solid. So, good Pat game, really good Io game, which is what I wasn't expecting that, to be honest with you, based on how things were started initially. They looked a bit scared. They both record scratched a couple of threes. But, shout out to both of these guys because they came back and really had a good second half, and the Bulls really needed their role guys to be good and smart players tonight, and they were.
Yeah, and the one thing I liked what Pat did, obviously the 17 was nice. The crossover behind the back that you mentioned was really nice. But what I was going crazy over, Kyle, and you were sitting there watching me, was Patrick Williams actually going up for rebounds with Vooch. When Vooch is going to get a rebound and Pat is jumping up with him like, no, I want this rebound too. He was super active. I hadn't seen him do that before, and it just feels good to see that young man actually play with confidence. And the jumpers he was taking were just some really NBA confident shots. These weren't just some I'm throwing it up here. Those are really confident buckets he was making. The moves he was making to the bucket and finishing with the left hand. He did that twice also. I just really liked his game offensively tonight.
No, yeah, Patrick Williams definitely had himself, a good game, 3 threes, only missed 1 3, and he just looked confident. Like I believe it was Grant Williams was moving with him step for step, and he had a counter for him. And so for me, that was encouraging to see just from a handle and just overall offensive arsenal standpoint. Yeah. But it was a really good game for Patrick Williams. He really needed this game, especially against an opponent like the Boston Celtics.
And kudos to Billy Donovan for putting that faith in him too, Mark, and trusting him to be out there also in that fourth quarter and giving him some really nice time out there to get comfortable.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. I mean, the last time the Bulls played the Celtics, they lost by 4 points off the top of my head, and that was the game where people were complaining about why is Pat in the game? Why is he taking those jumpers late in the game? Why is he making the mistakes that he did? But like this, I mean, more generally, Pat had a really good game, but for Pat to have this game against the team that last time the Bulls played the Celtics, he wasn't that great, particularly down the stretch. To see him sort of bounce back more generally is nice, but the fact that he did it against the Celtics is even better given where things were last game for Pat. So, shout outs to Pat. He played really well. Io, obviously, we'll get through every single player on this team, but just a good, solid team win that started from the start because, I mean, the Bulls starters actually had a positive plus-minus for a change. Like, yes. That was the foundation for this game. Like, the starters didn't get in a rut. They didn't get down so much that the bench guys had to come back in, which was good because, as we saw, Dragic got hit in the shoulder there and had to go off for a bit. It was touch and go whether he was even going to come back and play in this game. He only played 7 minutes in this one. So shout out to the starters for actually turning up and doing their job from the jump, which enabled the rest of the rest of the game to sort of unfold the way it did. So if they play like that from the jump, from the start, with that level of intensity, this is what they can do. We've seen this team play really well against good teams now. They've got 3 wins against the Celtics and Heat. I think they've got 3 out of... They've played the Celtics, the Heat, and the Sixers 5 times this season. They're 3 from 5 in those games. Like, that is really encouraging. Whereas last season they were 1 from 14 or 1 from 15 in those games last season. So this team is doing good things against better competition, or at least better teams in the East this year. But they just need to be better for longer, and particularly at the starts than they were tonight, which, like I said, set the tone for this game.
I like that part by Mark, especially because coming into tonight's game, that starting unit, they were a negative 6.9 in points per possession, and you saw every time Boston tried to make a run, those core guys were answering that run and like keeping them at bay. And it's a lot easier for the bench to play and contribute when they don't have to make up for a huge deficit. But the starters came in and played like how they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and the other thing that happened also was Boston didn't get off to a hot start either. We're so used to these teams coming in, getting off to like just volcanic hot, molten lava starts against the Chicago Bulls. Absolutely. And they didn't do that. I'll credit the Bulls defense also, but they honestly were just missing shots. Yeah. Like, a lot of those shots just weren't falling for them.
Took 53s.
Yes, correct. That is a lot of 3-point shots that they took. Sergio saying I should be taking a victory lap for Patrick Williams. It's none needed, man. Like dude, we're not even 20 games in yet, man. Like, all this is a process. He played a good game, had 17 and 4. Just be excited that he had that game. That's all. We're all just excited that he had that game and he showed that promise. You mentioned the 3-point shooting. Mark, I talked about this in pregame, that when the Bulls shoot over 40% from 3, they are undefeated this season. They are 4-0 when they shoot over 40% from 3. Tonight, 14 of 29, 48% from the 3-point line. They are now 5-0 when they shoot over 40%. It's not a thing. Like, this is a thing, man. Like, when the Bulls can actually hit threes, they are a good team. Wow. Shocking. Yes, this is true right here. And I have to credit, like we mentioned, Patrick Williams, just for being aggressive and taking those shots. But DeMar DeRozan was 3 for 3. Yeah. Alex Caruso, 2 for 4. I was just happy Kobe took 6 of them. I didn't even care that he went 1 of 6, honestly. I was like, just take every 3 that you can. And then Billy knew when to get him out, because, Kyle, I know you and I was screaming it like, okay, it's time. Sit him down, that's enough. But the big one for me was Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine going 5 of 10 and then hitting that dagger 3 mark at the end of the game that gave him, tied him for second all time with Ben Gordon. For the Chicago Bulls 3-pointers all time. He is second all time with Ben Gordon. That's only following the great Kirk Heinrich, your boy, Mark. Only following your boy, Kirk Heinrich, for the lead right there. But, yeah, I thought Mark, I needed Zach to come out and have this game after the game in Orlando. I needed him to have it, and he had it.
He did, and I'm not surprised that he did. And I know Zach and Billy had their thing last game, and I know there was depending if it was with different people, maybe this goes a different way, but I wasn't at all at any point concerned that this was going to be a thing. I know maybe some suggested it might, or it had the potential for that to happen. Like I said, if it was different characters, it would be a thing. But based on who Zach has proven to be over, his 4 or 5 years that he's been in Chicago and who Billy is as a coach, I never at one point thought this was going to blow up into something bigger than what it was. And because, Zach, at the end of the day, like, I completely understand his perspective from the game the other day against the Magic. But ultimately, like, he will come back and he will do this sort of thing. Like, we've seen it in the past. When he hasn't been good, he comes back and plays well. And I think sometimes we kind of forget that this dude is still getting back from his injury. And it's only still, midway through November at this point. But Zach was really good tonight, like, irrespective of the shooting. Like, the fact that he was playing good, solid defense, he was moving the ball. I think he had, 5 or 6 assists tonight. He was doing things on defense. So, like, the 5 from 10 threes, the Bulls definitely needed that. They definitely needed his ISO scoring, but the fact that he was sort of more engaged in other elements of the game, like this is what, like if even if Zach was 1 of 14 tonight, he would have closed the game today because he was doing all these other little bits and pieces. So I like to think that what Billy did sort of lit a fire under his ass, and this is kind of the Zach that we need going forward. I'm hopeful that it is just a one-game thing, and he can just get back to being a player at this point, and we no longer have to have this conversation going forward. But shouts to Zach for the way he's handled it. Billy too, he deserves credit. I'm glad to be on a post-game show where people aren't whining about Billy Donovan, his adjustments, his coaching, he needs to be fired, or any of that nonsense. It's nice to get a W because we don't have to listen to any of that trash.
It's true. W's help with all that. The ultimate salve.
Winning cures all.
Yes, it does. And he mentioned, like, Zach LaVine was 8 of 20 from the field. Like, not a great night shooting, but like Mark said, like, it was just the other things that he was doing on the floor, just being engaged. And Mark, the one thing I needed to see from him was movement, the way he moved, the way he attacked the bucket. Because I think even with that bad game, and if he kept having those kind of games, people were going to constantly talk about his knee and just say, it's not ready, he's not healed, this and that and this and that. But coming out like that and watching how he went to the bucket strong, the one way he went up for the dunk and got fouled, like, yes, more of that. Like, he went on the floor. He was doing all those things.
Yeah. That dunk when he cut back door and Kobe hit him with the pocket pass and he just dunked it.
Yeah, just looking comfortable like that. Like, you expected that aggression from him tonight, but I like to see it because it kind of quells, that fire of people coming at you, like Mark said, complaining about those kind of things in the post game. If Zach had came out a little timid on the knee, or even if he came out strong and didn't continue to be strong through all 4 quarters, it wasn't like that tonight with him, Kyle. Like, he was strong the entire game.
Like he fought on defense. He was fighting through screens, just active, and you could tell like 8 of 20 isn't his best shooting night, but the 50% from 3, just cutting, moving without the ball, getting others involved, 5 assists. He was just an overall plus, and it was encouraging to see. And this is what they even in the poor shooting, he still was affecting the game in other ways, which is the next step for him as a player. It's like, is the shot not falling? All right, well, go try harder on defense. And I believe DeMar said something along those lines, like after the game, just finding ways to contribute to the team, and he did that tonight.
Yeah, and it was great to see. And as Marquez said, everybody was a plus in that starting lineup. Zach was a plus 14 for the Bulls, man. Like, I know everybody's not a plus and minus person, man, but yeah, it's a thing, especially when you're plus 14, guys. It's a thing, man. So big up to Zach. Another guy Marquez was alluding to earlier that I thought had a really just awesome game, just as far as being active and being asked to guard the second best player on the team while still contributing offensively was Ayo Dosunmu. Love the way that he played. And Mark, I know you wanted to speak on him and just how well he played. 36 minutes, 10 points, 3 boards, 2 assists for Ayo, man. But he was a plus 16, and the way he did a really solid job just being asked the difficult task of guarding Brown.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, he had to pick up one of Jaylen or Jayson, so he obviously got the Jaylen Brown matchup for a large chunk of this game. But the thing I liked most about this Ayo game, and like I said before at the top, like I didn't think it was maybe going to unfold because it started a little bit slow. He started timid. He was sort of turning down his open jumpers. But as the second half started getting rolling, he took more onus on himself from an offensive standpoint, which is cool to see more generally. But the way he did it, I guess, the process of how he did it. Just really quick, smart reads. Like, that's what you need against a team that's guarding, LaVine, DeRozan, and Vooch really closely. Like, if you're Pat, if you're Ayo, or if you're Caruso, or insert whoever the role player is, you need to make a decision in a split second, whether it's drive, shoot, pass, whatever the decision is. You need to do it instantly. And there was that one play that he had, I think, in the third quarter where he had that sweet up and under layup going from right to left. That move was sick as hell. But what was awesome about that was the fact that Ayo just went as soon as he caught the ball. He didn't think, he didn't do anything else. He understood that Tatum was in defensive rotation, and if he just moved as soon as he caught that ball, he was going to be able to put some downhill pressure on that Celtics defense. So it's those small things that really were evident tonight, I think, from the Bulls role guys. Even Pat, like, there was that play where he was cutting through the middle of the court, Marcus Smart, amazing defense, blocked him when he went up for that vicious dunk. But like Pat made the right read there. He went for the cut. Caruso had good reads around DeMar and Vooch. So like it kind of felt like DeMar, Vooch, Zach, they were making the right decision as ball handlers, but the role guys were really supporting them tonight. Like I was obviously one of them, but I felt like everyone was sort of doing their thing. Like they were moving off the ball, they were supporting the main guys, which made it easier for them. So yeah, just a really good team win on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I would assume, man, the night he had.
He was just, like Mark alluded to, just the confidence, like not being timid and attacking, like catch the ball, instantly attack. Like that, you mentioned that when we were watching the game, like about Kobe White, when he starts to think too much. And then that's when the turnovers happen and the bad shots. But Io was just grabbing and instantly attacking the basket. And good things happen when he attacks the basket, when he's like pushing the pace and everything. Because, I mean, until Lonzo Ball gets back, he is that guy who's like going to make the quick decisions. And what I love most was how he missed that layup to start the game, that wide open layup, but it then led to deter him from having a good game, an impactful game.
Yes.
And they went 36 minutes of playing time, probably a lot more because Goran only played 7 minutes, but it was a good game from Io.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And Mark, like the thing I enjoyed, like as Kyle said, was just the aspect of forgetting, you know what I mean, the previous play. And Io has always been somebody who I've considered mentally tough all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And he showed it to me again tonight during his flaws. Because like you said, he missed 2 wide open layups. And you just knew he completely forgot about both of them. As soon as it occurred, it was out of his brain and he was on to the next play. That's what I wanted to see from Kobe. That's why I didn't care if he had a Zach LaVine against Orlando game. I just wanted him to put him up and then understand it's okay to just try it again. That's what I wanted to see from Patrick Williams, because we know he's been in his head all the time. But he was doing things where he just forgot it and then just kept moving. It was about being in the moment and being on to the next play. So those trio of guys, I really thought played really well and did a great job of helping the Bulls get this victory on the offensive and the defensive side, Mark.
Definitely. And you both touched on Kobe there. Like, I mean, if you look at the box score, 2 of 8 shooting for Kobe, 25% from the field, not great. But like everything we're talking about here in terms of the general criticism that we have of Io and Pat maybe overthinking things too much and being slow because of that, you can never fault Kobe for being slow in his decision-making from an offensive standpoint. Like, he's just going to shoot. He's going to make a play. Whether it's the right or wrong one, I mean, we can debate that all we want. But, like, I valued that from Kobe tonight. Like, obviously, this is his second game back. But he had, like, some really good moments tonight where he just went for it. The ball came to him. He shut the jumper. The lane opened up. He went for the drive. Again, like, obviously, he wasn't efficient tonight. But, like, again, I'm talking purely from a process point of view rather than the results. I liked what Kobe did tonight. And I don't know if what he did sort of rubbed off on Pat or on Io, or if that was just, coincidence or whatnot. But the fact that Kobe just goes out there and does his thing, it can be good, it can be bad. I thought tonight it was more good than bad, and he does deserve a shout because there was a period there in that second half as well where he's doing things on defense too. So, like I said, good team win. Everyone did something, even if their shooting percentages didn't necessarily reflect that. But literally every guy that was in the rotation tonight, Billy went 10 deep. They all did something that contributed. So, yeah, good team win. I'm happy with this one, boys.
Yeah, and one more thing about Kobe. I've always said that he's important, obviously, because of the shooting, but he's also important because he's one of the few guys on the team who can create his own shot, who can get to the bucket, you know what I mean, and actually draw fouls. So even though Kobe, shot poorly, he still got to the line 4 times. Like, he still was 4 for 4 from the free throw line. We need more of that. They don't have a lot of guys who are going to get in there outside of DeMar, and we see they don't give Zach those calls. That's historically how it's been for Zach LaVine. So you need another guy that can get you easy points at the free throw line, and Kobe can do that. And that's why I enjoyed him actually just going to the lane and being physical, you know what I mean, and also showing that contusion is feeling a little bit better, and he's doing all right. So, yeah, I enjoyed that aspect of his game also, man. I really liked how he played tonight. But like I said, I like when Billy knows when it's time. When he's like, yo, bro, that's cool. Thank you, but it's time, man. Go ahead and have that seat right here next to me. It's cool. We're going to take a break right here. When we come back, man, we got to talk about that, man. That man who always carries the Chicago Bulls, that man DeMar DeRozan. And I want to get into Alex Caruso and Andre Drummond too, because both of them had some awesome games contributing. And of course, we got to get into Mark's boy Javonte. We can't do this without talking about Javonte out here, man. We got to do these things, y'all. But first, how about we read a couple ads? Even though Matt's not here, I feel like I can channel Matt and talk about some meat. How about I can do this? I think I can do this, man. Because I don't know if you could tell by looking at me, but me and Meat used to be best friends. All right? We were tight. All right? And if Greenridge Farms, every time I smell it, it makes me miss my friend. Oh, it's some good stuff, man. Greenridge Farms, the Chicago local meat and cheese company, offering you a better all-natural option, y'all. Makers of that all-natural deli meat, sausages, and those famous meat sticks. Those are Matt Peck approved right there. Perfect for tailgating. Come hang out at the tailgate. I promise you they're going to have them. Happy hour or school lunches. Don't share them at school, kids. Those are your meat sticks, all right? You hold on to them. Those are yours. These all-natural meat sticks are hardwood smoked for 8 hours. 16 grams of protein per stick, which makes it a perfect post-workout snack. Meat sticks come from chicken, Black Forest beef, and flavors like jalapeno cheddar and spicy chili. If you haven't tried them yet, you don't know what you're missing, man. I'm telling you, that smell is amazing. Yeah, I know you done had some of this. It's fire.
Very good.
Real fire. Joey, meat sticks?
Yeah, I actually had 2 Greenridge sausages today for lunch.
For lunch?
Yeah.
I like how you roll, bro. I like how you roll. We got to get Marquez. Well, Marquez is on my team.
Mac Peck is rubbing off. Peck is rubbing off on me.
Peck is rubbing off on you. That's not necessarily a bad thing when it comes to the meat, sir. As he knows what he's talking about, y'all. So right now, y'all, when you order any 3 meat products at greenridgefarm.com and include a pack of meat sticks in your cart, those meat sticks will be free. All right? All you have to do is simply use the code CHGO at the checkout and get yourself some free meat sticks from Greenridge Farms. Got them fire sausages, baby. But after you eat them, you got to cleanse it out. You got to get it out right there, man. See, and this is when me and Marquez going to come in here right here. Because them athletic greens, you got to have it. It's necessary, y'all. It's a thing. You must have your athletic greens. So 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and oh, my God, Kyle, the adaptogens.
Oh, my sweet Lord.
Got to have it. Help you start your day right. That special blend of ingredients that support your gut health, nervous system, immune system, and your energy, your recovery, your focus, and the aging. All those things you want to take care of. Cost you less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health. It's cheaper than that cold brew habit, cheaper than getting all those supplements yourself. You're investing in that all-in-one nutritional insurance. It's vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals, or artificial anything. And it does all this while still tasting amazing. But you know who else gets down with this? Matt Peck gets down with it. The GOAT, Will Gottlieb. You see how he's perfectly coiffed hair and skin? That's how it is, the athletic greens. Marquez, we're going to get you down with the greens, sir.
I'm down with them greens, mate. You should see my green smoothie today. Matthew Peck would have absolutely devoured it. It was beautiful.
Yes. And to make it easy, y'all. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of that immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 of those free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/CHGO Bulls. That's athleticgreens.com/CHGO Bulls and take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance because it's Athletic Greens. You scoop it, you dump it, you shake it, you drink it. Then what you do, Joey?
You feel it.
I missed my graphic, Joey. I missed the Athletic Greens.
I know. It's in the I'll get it for you.
It's all good. It's all good.
Next time.
Right.
Next time.
But I know one thing you got, though, that I want to see. I know one thing you got I want to see, though, Joey.
You do know. You do know.
Let me see it then. Put it on me. Oh, there it is in your face. In the place to be.
Looks better every time.
Every time we see it. Look at that. King in the fourth. That DeMar DeRozan shirt. It is available right now, y'all. Not now, but right now. Get you that shirt right there. You know you want to put that on your body and walk around looking cool, representing the king of the fourth.
Absolutely.
Who balled out, did his thing.
Like, that design is just so sick. The 4th is just the 11, and just like, come on, the details.
You know what was funny? I didn't peep the 11th until somebody said it to me like a couple days ago. I was slow.
It was Mark K. Mark K. wrote, the 11 being a 4 is so sick. Or the H being 11. He said the H being 11 is so sick because it's hard to tell.
You're absolutely right. It was Mark K.
It's hard to tell. If you're looking for that shirt, I just went in the chat at CHGO Sports. I pinned the link right at the top.
Boom.
Head over to CHGO Sports Locker. Come a diehard, you can get that shirt for free. If you already are a diehard, you can get it for 20% off. It's really cool.
Yes, Salim said he gonna grab one. Al's enjoying that. Antoine. Yeah, all nice, right? Yeah, it's dope right there. Thank you for pointing that out for me, Mark K.
It is beautiful. I mean, we've got some really good designers here at CHGO, all city more generally. Like that is art. I'm not an art person. I've got no cultural bone in my body, but I can sit here and say that is beautiful art. So whoever designed that, whoever came up with that, absolute fire. As Al's saying here in the comments, people have to go get that shirt. I'm going to go get one. It's going to cost me $1 million to get it shipped over here to Australia, but it's worth it.
Luckily, we can rock you with the code, though. We get you with the employee code, Mark. We say you a little bit on that. Code. Yeah, we say you a little bit on that, bro.
Yeah.
We say you a little
and go check out the rest of the CHGO locker as well, because we have some other awesome shirts on there. The QB slide shirt just got restocked for QB1.
Like that's you?
Oh yeah, I wreck that every Sunday.
Yes, sir.
We just dropped the legendary design for number 81.
Okay.
Who is in the rafters now? So yeah, go check out the CHGO locker. A lot of cool stuff on there.
A lot of cool stuff there, man. Absolutely. Now, soon we talking about that shirt, man. We might as well talk about the man, DeMar DeRozan, doing what he always does, which is carry the Chicago Bulls, leading them to this victory. 28 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. 35 minutes he did this in, 11 of 24 shooting, and, of course, my favorite, 3 of 3 from the three-point line, and each one of those threes was a no. Ah, yes. Every one of them was like that, Kyle, man. What do you think about DeMar tonight? How did he do?
15 second-half points for DeMar, and just the Celtics were always like, they're a good team, so they're going to always try and make a comeback. But it felt at every time the Bulls had an answer for it, which was very impressive. But DeMar was masterful again. Like, just whenever they needed a bucket, he was, doing what he usually does. Tough twos, just finding the open shooter. But those 3 threes were I wasn't expecting him to hit those. Yeah. And for him to take some, like, I believe 2 of those threes, he just caught and rose up. And, it wasn't like a desperation heave. It was like a 10 on the shot clock. Right. I'm going to shoot this. Right. So I don't know what got into him today, but I was very impressed with his 3-point shooting, just overall floor game.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I think the 4 assists also stand out to me as well, man. He was definitely engaged, Mark, his whole game.
Yeah, I mean, 5 from 23 DeMar was coming into this game from 3-point line. Like, that's barely over 20%. So the fact that he went 3 from 3 makes no sense at all. But that last one where he was falling away to his right-hand side and it somehow went in. I mean, the Bulls needed that shot. Like, the Celtics were making a run. The Bulls were at that, like, they earlier in that fourth and third quarter into that phase of the game, they were up by, 15, 16, 18 points, something like that. They were sort of building on that lead. But here come the Celtics getting it down to 8 points, something like that. So I really like that aspect of this game as well. Like, I kind of felt, oh shit, here come the Celtics. They're going to run over the top here in the fourth. Yeah. But the Bulls steady. And a big part of that was DeMar doing his thing, controlling the half court, hitting those threes, creating. We saw that awesome spin move that he had that ended up with that awesome assist to a cutting Caruso for the layup, the reverse layup towards the back end of the game. So, yeah, the way DeMar controlled this game from the half court, like, that was really awesome. We needed that. And, in addition to the way he did that and the way Kobe and Zach, I think, created for their role guys around him, just really good floor game from the Bulls in the half court, which, again, is not something we've come used to this season. Like, the Bulls have been caught in the half court this season, have looked sloppy and stagnant and slow at times. But, again, that wasn't the case tonight. Things were moving, things were popping. So, maybe, I don't know what Billy did after the Magic game, or maybe the guys were just more generally embarrassed about that. But I was a little bit fearful that maybe they may get even further down in the dumps from that perspective after losing to the Magic the way they did. But for them to come out the next night or the next game and beat maybe the best team in the NBA like that, like, shouts to DeMar, shouts to the team. The way they controlled it in the half court, they deserved it. They deserve that credit.
And to Marquet's point real quick, 107.7 points per play in the half court according to Cleaning the Glass. That's in the 86th percentile. So they had a very efficient time in the half court today, which credit to them for not, letting the Magic game kind of deter them from this rebounding and fighting back.
And DeMar talked about that after the Magic game, about not getting too down on yourself and making sure your mind is right. Yep. Even when you suffer a loss like this, you don't want this stuff to kind of carry over, because he was like, this is how you learn the character of a team. Yep. You find out who these guys really are out there. Marquet talked about the cutting and slashing that was going on. It was a lot more evident tonight than I've seen in a few games for the Bulls. I think it started personally when Javonte came in the game. It's like everybody said, oh, that's how you do it? Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Then we'll do that then. And I pointed out one play to you. When Javonte cut, he cut, and basically he took two players with him.
On the IO play?
Yes. Yep. When he made that cut, he basically took two players with him. And Tatum didn't leave, but he took Tatum's eyes with him, because Tatum was following Javonte Green. And when he did that, Ayo saw that immediately and went to the bucket and scored. That's what cutting can get you. You know what I'm saying? Especially on this team, a team that is not going to shoot a lot of threes. They got to score other ways, getting inside and doing things like that. Yeah. And I thought that was just an awesome play by Javonte, and it carried over because I saw Pat starting to cut. Ayo doing it. Caruso's going to cut. That's what he does. So I thought it was very contagious, and then the defense just made it even more contagious for those guys, Mark.
Definitely, and without Dragic sort of setting things up, like they needed to find a different way to find easy scores. Like to get 8 assists from Kobe and Zach, like that's not a thing that the Bulls generally get. So those guys are really good at creating, but they got those assists by guys moving off the ball, like you sort of saying there, Dave. So again, here's me jumping on my Billy Donovan soapbox, or my Billy Donovan soapbox. Hashtag adjustments, folks. Javonte back into the rotation in the first quarter. Obviously, that was very different from the last game where he didn't play in the first half at all. Obviously, Billy made that halftime adjustment against the Magic. So, again, another adjustment for those playing at home. But, look, I mean, Javonte is Javonte. I absolutely love Javonte. Everyone loves Javonte, and for every single reason we know. This guy just sets the tone. We saw it in that Magic game. That was the annoying thing about the Magic game, because this would have been just added to the legacy, to the history of Javonte if they had got that game. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. But we get to relive it now, because he was influential in this game. 8 points, 3 rebounds, 12 minutes, full-on energy. No Derrick Jones Jr. tonight. So again, another adjustment from Billy. Shout out Billy Donovan. I still love you, my friend.
I like how he got all of it in. He got the Billy and the Javonte all in there, man. Nice package right there.
Javante's the definition of stay ready so you don't got to get ready.
Oh, man, that's who he is, man, all the time. And he's going to give you one of those dunks every game, those timeout dunks. We know about the timeout 3. He will have a timeout dunk for you ready to go, man. And he definitely had one of those again today. And make sure you guys are smashing that like button like they're telling us in the comments to do. Did we have one, Joey, that I had to read there? Did we have a super chat from our guy Schwo out there? We had a super chat from him, man, saying Crunch.
It's long. I'll read this one for you.
Go ahead.
It's because it's just, I know it's small for you. Crunch, the T-Wolves mascot, stole Benny's popcorn routine tonight. Let's press charges. Also, which one of you is rocking the Pact Victory sandals tonight? No, we were talking about this earlier. You guys are shoe guys.
Oh, no, that's Marquet. Marquet is the one rocking the sandals. So I had to guess, it's Marquet. He's the one.
Nah, man, I'm bare feet right now. Can you see?
Oh, come
Jesus!
On.
Oh man!
Oh.
You asked.
No, I didn't. No, he asked. I didn't ask.
Schwo asked.
Schwo asked you. I didn't, sir.
Anything for the super chat.
We've all got a price. I'll show my fee for $4.99. I'll put that on the internet.
Hey, that man has a child, okay? He's got to provide, all right? We're not here to judge. We're not here to judge. He's got to do his thing, man.
Get it how you live it.
Matt Skizzy says it was nice to have to not play against the refs tonight also. I think I mentioned that to you, Kyle. We were sitting there. I thought it was honestly a well-officiated game. They just let them play after a while, man. Because I remember that last Bulls game. When Grant got kicked out, you know what I'm saying? Like the guys and the coach got ejected. Like It was like that, man. But I thought it was a pretty clean game tonight, right?
They let both teams play physical, let them especially because the Celtics are a small team and they switched 1 through 5. And I noticed there weren't a lot of ticky-tack fouls when they were fighting Vucevic for position. And, I felt it was equal both ways. It wasn't a foul fest. It wasn't a do you touch somebody, you breathe on somebody, it's a foul. And so it was a good officiated game. Game had a nice flow to it.
Yeah, that's the word. It had a nice flow. And you just mentioned that player I wanted to get on too. Nikola Vucevic. Another game of getting a double-double. 12 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists. I will continue to say that is not normal for a center, y'all. That is a incredible skill for somebody that damn big, all right? I loved how he played after they realized their shots weren't falling earlier. As soon as they started recognizing mismatches better, Mark, I thought they did a better job of recognizing, oh, my God, he's on a small person. Get this man the basketball and let him operate down there. And, of course, he does what Vooch does.
Definitely. And I mean, Drummond, too, 12 rebounds in 12 or 13 minutes off the bench.
Yep.
I think the Bulls have played the Celtics 3 times already this season. I'm not suggesting that the Bulls will beat them in a playoff series, a 7-game series, but clearly from a matchup standpoint, for whatever reason, maybe it is just the presence of the big guys, Vooch and Drummond. This is a good matchup for the Bulls. Now, it remains to be seen if that remains the case once Robert Williams is back. Obviously, the Bulls playing the Celtics early in the season. No Robert Williams in any of those games, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe things change if they have him at their disposal, but thus far, when they don't have him, the Bulls have a big man rotation who can get on the glass and create opportunities. The Bulls have 59 rebounds tonight. That's pretty damn good. So and only 8 of them being offensive. So this team was all over the defensive glass. So shout out to the bigs there. To your point, Dave, the team more generally did a better job tonight. Recognizing Vooch in the post, again, that was something they did pretty poorly against the Magic, I thought, in the second half last game, or even in the first half as well. There was that jumper that Zach had where Vooch had one of the Magic guards sealed off on the block, and Zach took the dumb jumper. That wasn't happening in this game. So again, maybe that was a point of emphasis for Billy and the team to really hit the post and feed Vooch in that sense. So yeah, the team did a good job of that. And the bigs more generally have an advantage against this team, as we've seen over the last 3 times the Bulls have played the Celtics.
I see Eli saying, where's Peck? Peck is in the chat. He was down tonight. He's here. Don't worry. He's always with us. Matter of fact, everybody in the chat, put up a wave emoji for Matt. Just throw up a wave emoji in the chat for young Matt and wave at him and let him know he is loved and he is missed. But he shall return, but, the voice got to be right so he can yell and throw hats for everybody out here tonight.
Flipside had a great comment earlier. Flipside, who's had some great comments in the past. He's a great commenter. Several caps at CHGO were marked safe from being thrown by Matt Peck due to him not being on the show today. So, yeah, we had to give some of the hats on set over there a break,
Yeah.
They're starting to get worn out.
I threw a hat last game, Mark. I had my first hat throw of the season. I was pretty proud of that.
You were on one. I listened to that podcast afterwards and Dave, what's your throw, bro? You were going for it, but I was upset. Well-deserved hat throw and increased vocal amplification in that game. But I'm glad that we can talk about a win tonight.
Yes, correct. Because I was not happy. But no, Peck is okay.
Hat throws, no yelling, just good vibes.
Well, yelling, yes, but in a joyous way. But definitely yelling.
Good vibes, feet. What more could you want?
Yes. Was it? Ostas, thank you, says that Marquet's next move is to stream from the hot tub. That's what happens when he showed his feet. Salim says technical foul on Mark for showing his feet.
Mark,
is your OnlyFans very soon?
Is your YouTube screen name secretly find chat, find love here, cheaper than Tinder 123XYZ? Is that you?
That's always me in the comments. Those sex bots that appear, that's always me.
Good to know. I'll stop blocking them.
There it is, man. Let it go, man.
Yeah, just
but Kyle, he was talking about the rebound and Andre Drummond and just how well he played tonight. And it's good to see him back because I thought before that injury he was in such a really nice groove, and you could tell he was kind of working his way back. You could tell by the free throws that he shot that he was missing because shockingly he's become a really dependable and reliable free throw shooter. And he's been really solid from there. But the rebounding and him just being big and knowing that he's big and recognizing it and say, I'm getting all these rebounds tonight, it was definitely helpful.
Yeah, the Celtics like to play small. Like, they love to go 5 out, switch everything, and against some opponents that can work, but some, like when you have Andre Drummond, who's just a massive human being, that's just a lot harder to do. And the Bulls average 43 rebounds a game, so with their 51 rebounds, like, they were above their average, and that's a credit to Andre Drummond just being active, fighting for rebounds, and just doing a good job of being in the paint. And it was a good game for Andre Drummond. 3 or 4 from the free throw line, setting screens, and I mean, there was a couple of times the Bulls missed getting him the ball when he had a mismatch, but other than that, can't complain in 13 minutes from Andre Drummond.
Can't complain. Marquez, we're going to get out of here, man. But before you go, I'm not going to do it right now, but I have to ask yours, sir. Who would be your goon of the night tonight for this game?
Caruso. 4 steals, just getting in the way, doing things. That steal that I think it was the fourth quarter where he had that steal where he stole the ball, led the break, got the ball in transition, the Bulls scored. Was it Javonte on the dunk? I don't remember who was on the dunk. Or was Io on the dunk? I think. Anyways, I can't remember because I was too busy salivating at Caruso making that steal. But he would be my goon of the night. What an absolute stud that guy is. Every time I read a comment from people, whether it's in the chat here or online or whatever it is, people questioning Caruso, like, this is the game where I'm just pointing to, I'm like, no, this dude is everything. I love this guy. But fantastic game for Caruso. So he would be my goon of the night, Dave. I'm assuming. I don't know if I haven't ever gotten one right when I've made the
they're impossible to predict. They are impossible to predict.
They are, but I'm tipping it tonight. It might be Caruso.
All right. Make sure you follow our guy Mark, man, at MK Hoops, and go read his stuff that he is writing over at allchgo.com. Or if you're a diehard, you can get there behind that paywall.
Big Dave, real quick.
Hooked up, y'all. Get you that diehard package. Be that diehard fan, y'all. Go ahead, Joey.
Real quick, want to hit a couple super chats from earlier in the show.
Let's run them.
All right, Jaxo23, $10 super chat. He says, nice job, Bulls. Haven't been watching since the losses have been horrible and pathetic.
I'm glad you're tuning in, baby.
Yeah, well, we need you tuning in for more games. Then maybe you're the key.
Nice win.
All right, then Rex Ed says the bench was on fire. We already touched on that a lot.
Absolutely.
Great to see it tonight.
Man. They played really, truly well tonight. And what I liked is they didn't have to set the tone tonight. You know what I mean? The starting five set the tone about what it was. They just continued it on. Boston didn't score 30 points in either quarter, in either of the 4 quarters tonight. That's rare. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare, man. So solid job by the defense, great job by the bench. Just overall good team win for the Chicago Bulls, man.
Everybody, Caruso with 10 points, Kobe with 9.
Yeah.
Then factor in their defense too. Javonte with 8, just running in transition.
Yeah.
It was a good night for the Bulls bench, and they were allowed to do that because the starters came out and set the tone, like you mentioned. Yeah. And so if this is how they're going to win games, is the starters come out, do their jobs for the most part, and then the bench come in and just either maintain that lead or extend it. Yeah. And they did that tonight. They made me, again, I like those nights. They make me look smart when I say they could be one of the top 3 benches in the league. This is one of those games where I can lean on and kind of say that about them, because that death by, as I call it, the death by 1,000 cuts defense that they play, just everybody in those passing lanes, they get it and they're gone. Their transition buckets are just absolutely awesome when they do that. So the only one that I wasn't mad at it, but I was like, was the one where Kobe gets the steal and he pulls up for 3, and nobody's under the bucket, and he pulled up. Yep. I was like, no, I was like, but he is a shooter. You gotta let him. Right. There's always 1 or 2 shots you gotta let your shooter have. And that was just one of those ones. And they didn't even have Goran Dragic. And our guy Will, he brought it up on Twitter about how they missed having his just ability to get into the paint for lobs. So the best bench in the NBA. And once they get Dragic back, that's another added dimension, because the Dragic Drummond pick and roll, that was lethal.
Vicious, super vicious, man. Yeah, let's hope Dragic is going to be okay. Looks like he just had a little stinger or something like that in that shoulder, man. But he came back in the game, but then he left back out. And so let's just hope going forward he's going to be all right. Coming up, we got some other stuff we want to get into around the NBA, maybe some GOAT talk as well. Might join us right there. Stay tuned for that. But while you're doing that, Joey, show me the shirt again, please, my man. Show me the shirt, Joey. Show me the shirt. Give me the shirt up in there, baby. Oh, look at that. Slap him across the face with that awesomeness right there.
Buy that now.
Right now. You can buy this right now, y'all. Just go ahead.
What's stopping you? Like,
Nothing.
just grab the card. Just go buy it.
Listen, you're
don't
dope.
think about it.
You're a dope human being. You deserve dope shit.
Absolutely.
This is why you should have this shirt right here, man. King in the fourth, DeMar DeRozan. Hit that link in the description, man. Make your day better. Make your night better. Just like a Bulls win, man. It's all that, y'all. But first, let me check you something, because this is something you're going to need. And I know Joey's going to need some lighting from ComEd. You need that, because Joey's a responsible adult now.
ComEd, it powers my apartment.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
And they will power your apartment too, and your house, and whatever you need, they got your back with the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program. And it is committed to helping families and businesses in the communities we serve manage energy usage and lower energy bills now and into the future. ComEd offers a wide array of incentives on lighting and other efficiency upgrades to commercial, industrial, and public sector customers of all sizes across our territory. Customers can inquire about how to upgrade outdated lighting to energy and money-saving efficient LED lights. Learn more about network lighting to operate your lights through your mobile device and track your facility's energy usage, and much, much more. Incentives have recently increased for indoor, outdoor lighting and network lighting controls, making these projects even more cost efficient than ever before, y'all. Save you some money. So visit comed.com/shop. Powering Biz. That's B-I-Z. Shout out Biz Markie. Rest in peace. Now, and start saving money and energy. And to start a project, make sure you can contact them at 1-855-433-2700. For more information, you can email businessee@comed.com or publicsectoree@comed.com. Oh, see, when you got all them lights on, Joey, one thing you're going to need is some shades. We got all them lights on. You're going to need some shades on when you do that. And I know Joey he wanted to put shades on, but he don't want to pay all that money for them. He was upset about it. He threw a couple hats about it one time. I saw him. He was mad. But the person who was mad about with him was Shady Rays. They was upset about it too. They say you shouldn't have to pay all this money to get some dope glasses. We got you covered, man. They got your back. They got that world-class optical clarity, sustainable durability, and styles catered to everyone and every lifestyle. Thank you, Joey. And best part about Shady Rays?
Best part.
They have the most insane protection program in all of eyewear. I like to call it the Matt Peck Lost and Broken Replacements Plan. That means if you're tossing a hat and you're having to have your pair of glasses on it on day one and you throw it against a wall, snap them glasses in two, they will send you a brand new pair on day one. Ain't it?
That's just love.
It's amazing stuff that they're doing, man. Shady Rays. I mean, even with that protection program, they make those quality glasses that everybody can enjoy. And that ain't just me talking. That is 200,000 five-star reviews. 200,000. I've been told that's a lot. I've been told that's a lot. It's a thing. They offer a free returns and exchange program. You either love the shades or Shady Rays will pay for you to ship them things right on back. Whatever you need, they got you covered. So exclusive to all you listeners out there, Shady Rays running their deepest deal of the season. Use that code CHGO for 50% off 2 or more pairs at shadyrays.com. That is a buy one, get one free. What that called, Joey?
They call that a BOGO.
BOGO for the low, a 54-fold for show.
Well said.
Thank you, Joey. Redeem only at shadyrays.com, where you can find all their newest and best shades, because it's Shady Rays, where the rays are shady. Yes, I am Spook Kitty. Unfortunately, Biz Markie did pass away a few months ago.
I was going to say, that was a kind of a while ago.
Yeah, he definitely passed. I love Biz, man.
Big Dave, a top 5 ad reader, dead or alive. Top 5.
Thank
top
you,
2
sir.
and he not 2.
Top 2 and he not 2. That's what I'm talking about, man. I appreciate stuff like that. Oh, my goodness. That is awesome. That is awesome to hear. So, going forward, we see the Bulls get this big old win.
Yep.
It was a huge win for the Bulls to get. So, since they got that, they got the Bucks coming up next. So, we're looking at Milwaukee And Milwaukee's a little tough. You know what I'm saying? They're a little
tough.
hard, a little scorched right there. But I know Milwaukee's angry. And I know they got some angry going on right there. Joey, I'm gonna need you to show me something real quick, man. I don't know if everybody's seen this clip, but when they were playing the 76ers, Giannis Antetokounmpo was a little perturbed. He was a little bit upset.
A little bit.
Because he had a tough night shooting that night. He wanted to get some more work in. And they were in the way. And Giannis started to tell him, hey, man, you're going to have to move out the way. Move this ladder about the way. And they said, nah, man, we're going to do what we want to do. He said, don't you see how big I am? What the hell I say? Man, you better get that shit about this way. I'm trying to shoot free throws right here. And then just walks calmly back to the line and starts shooting his free throws, man. Dude, I'm sure this has happened before. It just hasn't been caught on camera because NBA players have those kind of temperaments. You know what I'm saying?
And Giannis is a nice dude. So
he is, yeah, man.
But hey, wrong day, wrong night. Anyone could be upset.
Anyone could be upset, man.
Hey, Big Dave, we ready to bring in the GOAT?
You want the GOAT here?
I want to bring in the GOAT, but I also want to hit King of the Game real quick.
That's why I was going next.
Okay.
I was running that right into that, Joey.
You read my
right
mind.
In there, baby.
You read my mind.
That's why I was running right in there. Bring it up right now. Show me who that King of the Game is. There it is. That man, DeMar DeRozan, 28.7 rebounds for it. Says 3 of 3 from the 3-point line right there, man. And that's why you should get that shirt. It's not a coincidence that we said, your shirt is available now. DeMar saw that and said, what? That's a dope-ass shirt. Let me go ahead and get these buckets. Oh, King of the Game.
And buckets were had.
Buckets were had. King of the Game, DeMar DeRozan. You agree with that, Kyle?
Absolutely.
King of the Game?
I mean, DeMar 3 threes, just overall floor game, just being able to control the tempo. Like,
yeah.
It had to be DeMar.
It had to be DeMar, man. He's a special one right there. And we're going to get into the other part of that story with Giannis. But first, we must talk. You hear the sound. You know what it is. He got shades on today, too, y'all. Oh, it's that man. It's Will the GOAT Gottlieb, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're reading his stuff at allchgo.com and following him on Twitter. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. I'm a little salty I wasn't named King of the Game, but I'll allow it for DeMar. He had a great game.
Well, Will, in my heart, you're always King of the Game, sir.
There it is. Thanks,
That's how it goes. Big win for the Bulls tonight, man. Looks like they played well offensively and defensively. And, Will, they came out and actually did it from the start. You know, they've been slacking, kicking it off right, and usually the bench has to come in and kind of right the ship. But it seems like the starting five had it together tonight.
They did. And really, you know, DeMar didn't really turn it on until the second quarter. Vooch only had 12 points, surprisingly. It seemed like he had going a little bit more than that, but he was 6 of 7 from the field. Zach started really slow again. So it wasn't even necessarily the Bulls' big three, but I think all around their presence was just really strong. They, withstood every single run that the Celtics made. The Celtics started the game shooting really poorly, but they finished with 19 threes, 38%. So it's not like they were, getting lucky that the Celtics were missing all their shots. I thought they had a really solid game all around. Patrick had a season high. Io was contributing. I mean, it was like a full team effort in a way that we haven't really seen in a while, where everybody, all three of the big three of the Bulls all-star players, all the bench players, like everybody kind of played to the level that I think is the standard for what this team wants to be.
We talked a lot about Patrick Williams to start the show and just the game he had and just how aggressive he was out there on the floor. And, I mean, crossing people over, hitting pull-ups in their face, taking them to the paint, hitting the threes. Like, he really had an all-around game tonight, and a tear was brought to my eye because of it. I was very happy. How did you feel, Will?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, he just looked like – okay, let's start from the beginning. He was basically just left wide open by himself on the first couple of possessions. He took a three, which he missed, and then he had another opportunity with nobody in his face and passed it up for Zach, and he had that weird fadeaway air ball, which we're not going to talk anymore about. And then he hit the next one. So the Celtics game plan was basically like, let the Bulls role players beat them, and we've seen that story before, right? But Patrick came out and actually took advantage of that. He looked really confident getting into his jumper. The catch and shoot was pretty much what it normally is, but I think we saw him get into his mid-range pull-up bag a little bit more. Obviously, he had those 2 crossovers on Tatum, and yeah, he just looked like he belonged. And Billy said as much. He seemed like he was, pretty happy with his performance. But I think the main message from inside the locker room was like, they don't want to get too high after a good win, the same way they don't want to get too low after, they lose 4 in a row or 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 7 or whatever it was. But they understand that this was a big win against a really good team, and it sort of sets the tone for this road trip coming up.
Yeah, and it's a tough one coming up for him too, right?
Yeah, tough one. First game, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Giannis had 37 tonight.
He's a problem. It's shoot. That's what it's going to be.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. The other guy, Will,
pretty good.
Yes, all of that. The other guy we talked about in our pregame was Zach LaVine. He was someone I wanted to see have that game after the 1 for 14 night, the 0 of 5 from 3, the comments after the game. We wanted him to come out and just, put a couple things to rest. And I thought he started that from the first quarter. He was really aggressive, and then he basically closed the game out with that 3-pointer in the fourth quarter at the end, man. How did you feel about Zach's game and how he played?
So I don't think his efficiency has not been great, right? I think he was like 8 for 20 on the night, hit 5 threes, so that was great. Only got to the free throw line for 1 trip, so 2 attempts. Had some, I thought, pretty bad turnovers, and just generally, he's still not the Zach LaVine that we saw last year. But all that said, he looked so much better than he did last game. And what I appreciated the most was with 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, he was shooting, I think it was 5 of 16 from the field. So not having a good scoring night at all. But after the last game, when he got benched, he kind of said, like, I've earned it based on the way that I played over the course of my career. I've earned it to be able to get back in those games in closing moments and shoot myself back into those games. And that's exactly what he did. He came in, made 2 threes, and then hit 1 on the very last possession as well. And that kind of kept the Bulls afloat. I mean, he still has some of his imperfections in terms of turning the ball over. I thought his defense was actually pretty solid today, but you kind of know what you're going to get with Zach on that end of the floor. But, I thought it was really good for him to sort of face that adversity of not being able to hit his shots, still being able to contribute. And then when things really mattered and when he needed to give them a scoring boost, he came in and did it.
Alex Caruso, Javonte Green, Andre Drummond. When those 3 guys came into the game, they definitely kept the level of where it was and raised it a little bit also. Drummond was just a beast on the boards. Obviously, they were running the wheel small ball lineup out there, and they didn't have anybody for Andre Drummond, so he was just snatching those rebounds. Javonte just, the cutting and the slashing that he was doing was kind of causing havoc on the offense and defensive end. But Alex Caruso was the one who really kind of set the tone. I thought he had, not statistically over the past 2 games, some great games. He hasn't had, those great games like that, but his 3-pointers started coming, and he started hitting a couple threes, and that continued again for him tonight, 2 of 4 from the 3-point line. Can you talk about those 3 guys and how they performed and what you saw from them?
Yeah, let's start with Caruso. Dave, you got to trust your instincts, man. Caruso's had his best 3 games of the year, his last 3 games. Like, he is really starting to come into form. He hit, I think, 2 threes tonight. He hit 1 in the last game. I'm just pulling it up now, and 3 against the Pelicans on the 16th. So, I mean, his shooting has been so bad all year. He's been turning the ball over at such a high rate. And the defense, you know what you're going to get. I mean, just absolutely elite point of attack defense. But I think the offense starting to come around a little bit is so huge, just to have him on the floor to close games. Like, the Bulls brought him out there basically at power forward there. And that is just, it's so much of a relief to have somebody that they can rely on to knock down open shots. He still had a couple of bad misses, but he had a couple of great assists. He had that one to Io, and then the next play found Io on a back cut, and Io missed the layup, kind of stole an assist from him. But yeah, I mean, he just looks like he's starting to find his form a little bit more. And I think then, you'll start to see the minutes jump up a little bit. He's been around 22, 23. So hopefully he can work his way back up and continue to be a contributor with that closing group. Drummond was also just, massive. I think he had like 12 boards in 10 minutes or something like that. let's see, yeah, 13 minutes, 12 rebounds. So, I mean, just really taking advantage of the Celtics front line, who play really small, and the Bulls are like one of those teams that can really take advantage of that. And so he had just like, a massive impact a game. Similar to Vooch, I think, where it's like, it seemed like just based on how present they were in the offense and like how much they were putting their imprint on the game, that they would have had more than, a combined 17 points, but 25 combined rebounds. I mean, they really both had a huge impact on this win and sort of negated the small lineup that the Celtics are really lethal with. So I thought they played great. Javonte has been awesome all year. I think we need to put him into the all-role player Hall of Fame pretty soon here if he's not already there. He's been amazing. I couldn't tell you the last time he missed a field goal. He was perfect again today. He's just the man, and I'm glad he's back in the rotation.
Yeah, Will, we're going to let you go, but I want to tell you one stat because I know you're a stat guy. But the Bulls shot 48% from three tonight. The Bulls are now 5-0 when they shoot over 40% from three this season. It hasn't been a lot, but when they do it, they win and they get those victories.
The value of the three-point shot, man. Who knew?
It is a thing, man. Make sure you guys are following Will on Twitter and reading all his awesome stuff, like we said, at allchgo.com. Will, we will talk to you later, my friend.
Kyle, good to see you.
Good to see you, Will.
Yeah, good to see you too, Kyle. Thanks. I mean, Will.
Forget
Cool.
Joey.
Thanks, Joey.
Let's give away, we're up against the clock, but let's give away Goon of the Night because we are ready to do this right about now. It is up.
All right, Big Dave, I got two choices for your sound effect here.
Okay,
I don't
two
know
choices.
what you'll like better.
All right,
Here
let's
we go.
see.
So we'll put up the thing.
Let's hear it. Here we go.
And I'm glad I called that guy.
Okay, what's
There's
the other
one.
Allow me the pleasure of introducing you to Blade Laser.
That one.
It cut off. It cut off, but we'll fix it.
But I like that one better.
I like that one.
I like that one a little better.
Blade laser, you a dodgeball guy? All right.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Dodge a wrench, dodge a ball. You, Goon of the Night, Kyle. Who would your Goon of the Night be, sir? And remember, it has to be, just
Drummond.
Okay, I dig it.
Drummond.
I dig it. You like Drummond? Drummond's
like
yours?
Drummond.
Joey, your Goon of the Night?
I like this comment here that says Dalen Terry for his reaction at
That's a
the
good
end of the
one.
game.
I was this
His facial
close.
expressions.
Listen, when I tell you I was this close, you are in my brain, my man.
I'm trying to think of where you're going with this because, my pick would have been Pat, but I'm almost every time I think it's going to be somebody, I know that there's zero chance that it's actually that person.
Okay.
I think
So who is it, Big Dave?
So Goon of the Night is exactly who Marquez said, sir. It is Alex Caruso. Goon of
Caruso.
the Night. Running through them screens was the one that got it for me. When he ran through that screen, I was like, oh, no, this is his night right here.
Yep.
And just the way he contributed, he was everywhere on the floor tonight, especially defensively, doing what Caruso likes to do, just diving on the floor, getting loose balls. But the passes he was making was sweet, and he was hitting his three. But he was gooned up tonight, man, and I enjoyed watching him do goon things. My man. Somebody said Pat got robbed.
Sergio
Caruso.
says if it isn't Pat, we riot. We riot on our ends.
Well, sir, just calm down, man. Trust me, Pat's going to get one. Pat's got to get some inner goon. I want to see more of his inner goon come out. It's starting to come out more. I promise you. If he hit that dunk, we be having that discussion.
He would have been the goon of the night.
Yeah, bro. We be having that discussion, man.
Ooh, that would have been a nasty dunk.
Osa says I'm 0 for 17 on goon of the night. That
Keep
makes
shooting.
That makes two of us.
Keep shooting.
Gotta keep
Don't stop
shooting.
shooting, man. You know
Never
what I mean?
stop shooting.
Next one go down. Man. But Alex Caruso, this, sir, is for you. Goon of the night.
Allow me the pleasure of introducing you to Blade Laser.
I like that.
Blazer.
Nice
Feels
intro.
right.
That's a nice intro.
Thank you, sir. Yeah,
My workout consigliere.
Yeah.
Michelle. If Peck was here, he'd like that.
He would enjoy that immensely. And Peck will be with us tomorrow because we're going to have a special guest on our show tomorrow, y'all.
Special guest.
Special guest is
Tune
going
in.
down, baby. I'll give you a hint. The trio will be back together. That's all I'm
That's a pretty easy
hint.
guess.
Yeah, I ain't say I was gonna be a hard one. I said I'm gonna give you one. Trio's gonna be back, man. So stay tuned
Big
for that.
three in the house.
Kyle, let them know where they can follow you, my friend.
Follow me on Twitter at K_Williams Media. Thanks for having me, y'all. I appreciate it.
This dude is awesome.
Unreal.
I say young legend. I mean this. This is a legend in training right here. Joey, let them know where they can get you, bro.
You can follow me at Joey Spathis, but nothing that crazy going on over there. Just go follow Kyle instead.
Just go follow Kyle, man.
No, we gotta get you to what 1,000?
1,000.
He's close.
Road
We're
to
close.
1,000.
Yep,
close,
the
man.
race to 1,000. Can't wait to wave that checkered flag one day.
Yes, he's on his way.
Kyle, my guy.
I like
You
how
know
Austin
me
says
and Kyle.
is a 5.
You know me and Kyle interns together at Marquee with Coach Jake.
Yeah, okay.
That's how we all got the start. Big Dave and the youth.
All right,
All
Big
comes-
Dave and the
Big
youth.
Dave.
It all
and the
comes
youth.
full circle.
We gotta put out an album now, man.
I
Big
was
Dave
thinking
and the
about
youth.
that. That
We
was
gotta
my first graphic idea. It was like an album cover, like
Oh, that would have been.
Big Dave and the Youngsters, something like
Should
that.
have rolled with that, man.
And
There
we
was a
talking
rapper
about
called The
music
Youngsters.
before.
That's what I saw. I saw a Youngsters album cover, but
Yeah.
it was too complex to do
complex
some
to do it?
Photoshop.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right. I used to like the Youngsters. They had some joints too, man. I ain't gonna go into that with you. But yeah, shout out to the Youngsters, man. They had some
Appreciate
joints.
you.
Thank y'all for enjoying what we do here at CHGO. Thank you for watching CHGO Bulls post game, hanging out with us, y'all. Follow me at Bow Sports on Twitter. And yeah, we'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Matt, love you, bro. We'll see you tomorrow,
Get
my
well,
friend.
Matt.
Get well and be back. We out, y'all.